All right, we're almost getting to your section. I'll come to you in just a sec when we get to that part. Really simple. How do I eliminate a 3 in front of the x? Okay, so let's not mess with that original problem. Whatever you divide one side by, divide the other side by the same thing. So x is greater than negative 2. Put the negative 2 down on the number line. 0 is above it. Negative 4 is below it. Felipe, open or closed? Open, shade right or shade left? Shade right, shade in the direction that it points. Remember, it only shades in the direction it points if the variable is where, guys? Okay, Brittany says on the left. Okay, so let's check it. Pick an easy number that's on the shaded section. What's the easiest number to pick? 0 is always the easiest. Try 0. Should it work? Okay, it should work. Let's see. Is 3 times 0 greater than negative 6? Is 0 greater than negative 6? Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay. That means we did it right. We said it should be true. It was true. That means our shaded stuff is correct. Moving on. What do you notice about example 3? It's on the wrong side. So let's start, Luis, by writing it on the right side. Can you read it for me? Did he read that correctly? Okay, put a little note out that says, right here, switch the variable. Okay, and Jelon, that makes sense now? From before? Okay, now, what's in front of the A? Obviously a what? Okay, we have multiplication in front, so to counter multiplication, what are we going to do? Divide by what? Okay. Those cancel. I'm left with how much? Just A. And what's 12 divided by negative 6? Negative 2. Now, flip back forward to the front page. Point 2, right there. It says if you divide by a negative, what do? Switch the inequality. So, did we just divide by a negative? So the greater than sign becomes a less than sign. Now, put another note that says switch the variable. Why did we switch it the first time? It was on the wrong side. Why did we switch the second time? Okay, we multiplied or divided by a negative. All right, so here we go. Let's graph it. 0, negative 4, circle. Do I fill it in, Noah? Okay, which way do I shade, Noah? To the left. I won't forget my arrow, as Caroline has told us. So now we check it. Easy number to check. Which one are you going to pick? What's the easiest thing to check? 0. So let's try 0. Should the number 0 work? Should it work? Felipe? No. Okay. So it should not work. Let's see. Is 12 less than negative 6 times 0? Is 12 less than 0? Is that true? Obviously, it's not less than 0. So should the number 0 be shaded? No. And that's good. But we switched it twice, back and forth. And so when we're switching it that many times, it's really important, Justin, that you're going to check these, because if you didn't switch it, let's say, Justin, you didn't switch it right here, and therefore you had shaded the other way, and all of a sudden 0 didn't work, and you have it shaded, what does that tell you? I didn't shade the right way. And so you need to kind of go back and say, hey, I made a mistake. I need to shade the other way. And so that is your check. That's how you know which way to shade it when the problems get complicated. All right, down at the bottom, I wanted to show you a fraction that was also negative to kind of put them all in terms of the most difficult kind of problem. What's the reciprocal of negative 2/5? So, out here, put negative 5/2, big parentheses, negative 5/2, big parentheses. And let's put the original problem on the inside. What happens to the reciprocals? What do? They cancel. Does anyone remember the property? What it's called? What property says reciprocals cancel? Starts with an M. Ashley? Come on. Ryan? Multiplicative inverse. Go get some M&Ms. All right. What happens to these two 2's? They cancel. So that leaves me with negative 5. So we go down here, negative 5. Do I fill it in or do I not fill it in? I fill it in. All right, which way do I shade? Okay, we shade to the left. All right, let's check it. Pick a number that's obviously, okay, 0. Should 0 work? Okay, so we're going to try 0. It should not. So let's see. Go to the original problem. Negative 2/5 times 0 less than or equal to 2. What's negative 2/5 times 0? 0. Is 0 less than or equal to 2? Is 0 less than or equal to 2? It's less than, right? So 0 works. 0 is less than 2. We agree? 0 is less than 2. But 0 is not shaded. We have a problem. 0 should be what? Shaded. But I need error analysis here. We made an error. Brett? Is he correct? Did we multiply or divide by a negative? After we did that, did we switch the sign? Look right here. Did we switch it? Okay, so put a note out that says multiply negative, question mark, switch the sign. So how should this be written? Give me the correct reading, Brett. Okay, so I'm going to cross this number line out. I'm going to write a new number line down here, make it nice and small. I still fill it in, but now I shade to the which way? To the right. Now, is 0 shaded? Should it be shaded? Yes. Why do we check? Yeah, so you can catch yourselves. Okay? Curious. How many saw that mistake and didn't say anything? Anybody besides Brett? A couple of us? Good. That's good alert error analysis. Never, ever, 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 Carson, take anything I say as gospel truth. Okay? Always put it through the lens of being critical, being analyze it. Is it logical? Does it follow the logical pattern? Because the way God has created this stuff, He's created things in life that have structure, that have rules, that have guidelines. And so when something is presented to you, whether it's in here or in another class, you've got to look at it through a lens that says, hey, does this make sense according to the standards that we have? The reason math works the way it is because of the standards that we have that God's laid out, that we are discovering in math over and over and over again over the many, many years. So, all right. So, the big idea today, as Nate already told us about at the very beginning, when you multiply or divide by a negative, what do? Switch it. Okay, so that's the biggest idea that we're looking today.